Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions continue to move through the season and want to find a way to secure win number 3 on the year. It's the Vikings going up against the Lions. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been all... Systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yes.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good pick up there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Golden Tate is a dream for a play caller as a wide receiver because you can use him all over the field. Use him out wide, bring him into the slot, circle him into the backfield, where he can take handoffs as a running back. But the key part of his game, run after catch. Usually one of the top players in the NFL in that statistic.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Stafford looks to throw again. And Tate's got it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 15 yards there for number 15.
Well, it's just been an aerial attack all the way downfield, and they're putting it to the defense in a big way right now. What do you think, partner? Do you now run the football? Because they're in a pretty good spot already at the outer edges of the field goal.
But, like you always tell me, you're still far enough away from the end zone that a pass could be a good option here, too.
You know, we always talk about running the ball until people take it away from you. I don't see any reason to stop throwing it until they take it away from you as well.
Well, the early returns here on the opening drive, though, solid. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
To throw is Stafford. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. That's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So now Eric Ebron and the rest of the offensive unit trotting on the field. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people go, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. On first down. Abdullah looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw on second down at Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Throwing here to start the drive. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Spence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right?
And Abdullah lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
A try here for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's complete. Abdullah. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And now out comes Minnesota. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Back to throw. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat them.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
He'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He got 29 yards that time. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
After reviewing the play,
offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He completes it to Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Stafford. This is screen to Abdullah. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, Abdullah. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They go with Abdullah again. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, 1st down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Again, it's Abdullah. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Now Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he loses the football a 2nd time. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He goes underneath to Abdullah. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And tough starting field position here. They go play action here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jenkins. And all the way up to the 49. So we hit halftime with our victory. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
A toss to Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Back to that Philly. Here we go.
Back to throw here. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford. Ebron caught left side. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Back to the ground now. Here's Abdullah. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Throwing is Stafford, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run again on 1st down. Cook, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Handoff comes to Cook. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard. Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Back now at Ford Field. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Jenkins. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. So here come the Lions now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. For that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Super toe.
First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
On first down, it's Stafford. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. To throw again. Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And that is incomplete. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run it again with Cook. And now running right through it. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Now they try the right side here. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Back to the ground. This time, Cook. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll set up to throw. The left side caught by Diggs. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going up.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Fielded about a yard deep. Pushes past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off.
There's been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
And now out comes Minnesota. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know, people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Vikings, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they drop below 500.